I went to South Africa because of all countries in the world in the 1990s, South Africa was associated in people's mind with crime. Not so much the organized crime, but street crime. But in fact, South Africa also had a huge problem with organized crime. Nelson Mandela and his colleagues faced a tremendous problem in 1994 because the South African police force, which had existed, the apartheid police force, was basically a really vicious paramilitary, quasi-organized crime syndicate waiting in the wings for when the multinational democracy took over. And it was a real testimony to Mandela and his colleagues in the ANC that they managed to diffuse that, and they managed to absorb many of the people of the white policemen who worked in the South African police force into the policing of the new South Africa. But all of a sudden, they were having to police many millions of more people, because before, under apartheid, they just locked up all the blacks. And the problems of drugs and domestic abuse and things like that were contained within the townships. Now all of a sudden they were putting all this police resources into parts of the country which hadn't been policed before, and the thing that exposed was their borders. And what South Africa became in the 1990s was the transit route for what I consider to be the biggest crime of the late 20th century, which is the exchange of weapons coming from the former Soviet Union, often brokered by Belgian, American, French, British businessmen, sent into South Africa, up to areas like Angola and the Democratic Republic of Congo, where you had very valuable minerals being fought over in the civil wars there. And those minerals were sold to buy the weapons. They were sent back into South Africa, then to Israel, then to Belgium, and then to New York. So we were actually benefiting from key mineral and mineral compounds in, for example, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which had which mined 80% of coltan, which is a material that is in every laptop and every mobile phone. So we directly, with our mobile phones and our laptops, were involved in what I consider to be the biggest criminal conspiracy of the late 20th century.